gotta get up out of feelings.
What's going on, guys? It's Mr. DEBT Joe Loke from the Money Etiquette Group, and man, we have to talk about Facebook's cryptocurrency, Libra. Okay, the Libra coin, and we have to talk about their wallet, Calibra. We really need to talk about this, guys. I know that you're going to hear a lot of news headlines about it. I know you guys are going to hear about, Facebook's producing a cryptocurrency in 2020. But guys, this is so much bigger than just being a cryptocurrency. We're talking about what people have talked about in conspiracies. We're talking about one world government. We're talking about one world currency, a global currency. If you really read the white paper, the ambitions, and you see what the goal is here and who's backing Libra, man, this is something. This is a transition of currency and how we operate on a global scale happening real time right in front of our faces. And we think it's just about cryptocurrency and payments. Man, this is deep. Listen, pay attention to this video because I really want you to hear and look at the details and maybe examine it for yourself and tell me what you think, because this is where my mind is going when I look at projects like this based on the details they put out. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with Facebook cryptocurrency, their ambitions toward cryptocurrency, look, they've been working on this for the last year or two. They've been trying to figure out how to enter the cryptocurrency market without being part of the speculative market, and they've done so by creating another stable coin. And stable coins are backed by government securities, similar to the dollar. So what they're saying is, look, the dollar doesn't change in value, but so much because it's pretty secure. We can back this currency by the dollar. And by doing so, we won't have to worry about being part of the speculative nature of cryptocurrency, meaning that we won't see the value go from $1 to $1,000. This is not like Bitcoin. This is not something that is going to make people rich by trading it or wealthy by trading it in a market. No, this is simply a coin that's created to facilitate transactions and remain stable. Now, what is the importance of this coin and why is it such a big deal? Well, think about it from this aspect. Facebook has over 1 billion, 2 billion to 3 billion users. Okay. So with so many users, you already have the ability to reach people and to help people transact through this cryptocurrency. And what they're saying is this is going to be something that can be used for free by Facebook users. You don't necessarily have to have a credit card. You don't have to have a MasterCard to do so, but you'll still be able to transfer money for no fee by using this system. Now, their coin also will be used to facilitate transactions through purchases. So we all know that Facebook has been working on ways to integrate through Instagram and their different platforms, ways for you to make instant purchases from merchants. These coins will be used for doing that. And they'll say that this is the most secure way to do it and the fastest way to do it without risking your financial data from being stolen. And it pretty much is a low fraud or risk-free transaction. They're going to do that by saying that not just the coin is risk-free or the coin based on their blockchain is a low security risk. They're also going to create a wallet called Calibra. And Calibra, the wallet, is where Facebook's going to make their money. But we're going to get back to that in a second. Let's get back to the Libra coin or Libra to help you understand what it is in itself. So who exactly is going to run and control Libra? Well, first of all, Facebook went ahead and created a nonprofit called Libra Association, which is going to be based out of Geneva, Switzerland. Location is important. If you think about what goes down in Geneva and Switzerland and how that connects to the IMF and the international and global community, just know that it's not a coincidence that this nonprofit is based out of Geneva. Okay, so they have about 28 different businesses, for-profit businesses, that are backing and the original founders of the group that will control the transactions or the nodes within this cryptocurrency. I have a list that is posted right next to me. You'll see it on the video, but some of the businesses that are involved are very familiar. We're talking about PayPal. We're talking about Uber, Lyft. We're talking about Visa, MasterCard, also Spotify, eBay. Businesses and platforms that we use every day will help to control the transactions within this system. Now, I want you to think about that for a second, because you're going to hear a lot in the future about the security of Libra and Calibra, which is the wallet, in which, look, we're not going to sell. The promises are going to be, we're not going to sell your financial data. We're not going to use or allow ad targeting to take place based on what you do in your wallets. Well, if you think about it, if these big organizations, okay, control the transactions and the nodes, they have access to your transactions in the first place. Why would they need to go into your wallet to create ads and to look at your spending habits and advertise, to you from that? They don't need to do it because they have direct access to your transactions. And getting into it a little bit further, when you buy a Libra, let's say you buy $50 of Libra, you want to know, well, where does my $50 go? Your $50 goes into the Libra Reserve. The Libra Reserve. Sounds familiar, right? Sounds like the Federal Reserve. Here we go again. So that's where your money is going to be held, in the Libra Reserve, a secured place that makes sure that they hold more and more government-backed securities in dollars so that they can make sure that this system remains stable. So we have now the Libra Association, which is comprised of 28, that's the nonprofit group, which is included in the 28 different businesses that will control the nodes and the transactions that are associated with Libra. And then your money is going to be held, that you put in there, in the Libra Reserve, which will make sure that your money doesn't go anywhere. Now, you as a consumer will have no access to the Libra Association. You will not be a part, a voting member. You will not be a part of any association that controls what happens with Libra. Libra is fully controlled by these big businesses who agreed at a minimum to deposit $10 million to the association, which is again a non-profit, to make sure that the Libra coin is backed by real money. But that didn't come free. In exchange for this $10 million, you get to control the nodes, which again, if you are not familiar with the cryptocurrency world, this means that you control the transactions, or you at least make sure that they go through smoothly. And by doing so, you also have access to the data that is the transactions. Facebook has always been about data. And now, instead of saying, okay, I'm going to just sell your data to advertisers, no, we don't need to sell it. Let's just let the big businesses that are out there, 28 of the world's biggest businesses out there, let's just let them control the transactions, and they have access to it directly. We don't have to sell them anything. They paid up front $10 million a piece. And that doesn't mean that the group will always be limited to these 28 backers. It could grow. Understand, again, they're working with Visa. They're working with MasterCard. And they also are working with Federal Reserve banks. So this is interesting, guys, when you think about the bigger picture. I know I might be losing some of you, but I really want you to pay attention to what we're seeing. If you remember the power of the dollar, okay, what made the dollar so powerful? It's because when you started to have an agreement in which you said all oil will be traded based on the dollar, that means that the dollar was tied to something that was necessary worldwide. Okay, it was a necessary resource worldwide. Well, right now, digital currency, digital information, in the digital age, all of that is like a currency. It carries a lot of value. So now the dollar, through Libra, will be tied directly to what we do in social media, to how we transact from a digital standpoint. Everything that we do online, how we operate as an economy, using digital information, using technology, the dollar is now going to be the, let's say, currency that backs it. So we're seeing what we saw in the past happen all over again. It's just being recycled into a new wave, into a new organization, but it's no different. Because again, remember, this is a private organization, similar to the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve does have a lot of backers, but it's a private company. Okay, they say they do things to make sure that stability, when it comes to finances worldwide, stability is maintained. Well, Facebook is saying the same thing. We want to make sure that stability is maintained. We want to make sure that anyone with a smartphone can transfer money worldwide. And we're going to make sure it's stable because we're going to back it by the dollar. So when you make your purchases on Facebook, when you make your purchases on WhatsApp, when you make your purchases on Instagram, eventually, there's going to be an incentive for you to use Libra, where you can save by using this cryptocurrency versus using your regular dollars. And when you begin to do this on a regular basis, understand that you're going to feel secure about it because it's backed by the dollar. Not by other currencies, but by the dollar. And by doing so, now you tie the dollar into almost all transactions worldwide through Facebook, through Instagram, through social media, which if you look at how many hours and how much time people use social media and are on these websites, through eBay, through all these different websites, then you begin to understand the scale. You begin to understand why Libra truly wants to be a global currency, which is run out of Geneva. That's just not creative. Now, some more information about it. When it comes to the wallet, okay, this is where Facebook will make their money. They're going to create a wallet, again, called Calibra, which houses your Libra coins. And through Calibra, they're going to say, look, guys, if somehow your Libra coins and your cryptocurrency within this wallet are stolen, particularly your Libra, we're going to ensure that 100%. So they're going to give you that security. They're going to let you know that if you use this wallet, it'll integrate with all other platforms, which will make it easier for you to transact. So you don't have to be on Facebook's site to transact if you have this Calibra wallet. Then you can still work with eBay. You can still work with, I'm sure Google's going to be integrated into it. Somehow when you make purchases on YouTube, you know, they're working that out to directly make purchases. That's going to be integrated eventually. Any type of transaction that you can make, they're going to say, look, eventually you can use your Calibra wallet to use your Libra coin, and then you'll have access to use your Libra coins anywhere. So it's essential to have the wallet to house your coins. Just having the coins isn't good enough. You're going to need to have the wallet to use it conveniently. And this is where Facebook will make their money, because the wallet is not managed by the nonprofit. The wallet is going to be a for-profit part of Facebook. This is where, again, they can make billions just by you using the wallet on a regular basis. And again, remember what they said. They're going to make sure that this wallet's secure. They're going to make sure that when it comes to your data, it's going to be protected. Now, that's tough because Facebook and data and privacy really don't go together. But they're going to sell it as much as possible so that you understand it. And the way to get you to use it and believe in it is to do what everyone always does: offer discounts. If you use a Libra coin to purchase, I don't know, some piece of art, to purchase some product, you'll spend less than what you would spend using real dollars. They can do that. They can do that with this coin and through the wallet. So incentives will be there. And then once you adapt to it and get used to it because you're already on the platform, now you're using a global currency, a currency that's not controlled by the United States. However, it is backed heavily by the dollar, which again makes the dollar more powerful, similar to its relationship to how the oil trade market and petroleum. This is why the dollar has a certain level of power outside of course, being backed by our armed forces. Now, I'm not calling out people to say, look, to protest this or to stand against this. I just want you to know what's going on, looking at the details behind the white paper and the information that's been released. Because today you're just going to hear a lot about cryptocurrencies and Facebook entering the market. You're going to hear that it's better than Bitcoin, which it is in some ways, but it's not the same type of system. And you're going to hear about Facebook kind of trying to be the hero of cryptocurrency. Now we're going to do cryptocurrency more responsibly, because all the others that have been in the market have been irresponsible. You got to do that when you enter the game. You got to paint everybody else as the bad guy and Facebook is the good guy by creating this coin for us, so that worldwide, all you need is a cell phone, a smartphone and a signal. And that way you can transact, you can transfer money using something that won't go up and down in value, and something that from a security standpoint is very secure. Sounds good, but the details matter. So what do you guys think? Tell me in the comment section. I want to see what your thoughts are, especially if you're a part of the cryptocurrency community and you understand these things on a technical level. But even if you just are hearing about this and you're thinking about just what the future of our world is when it comes to currency, worldwide economies, if this is bringing us more together on a global scale, and this is kind of the medium to do so, because we've been hearing talks about this forever. Is this the beginning of a one world currency, of a global currency? I think it is, if it works, because when you have a platform that the world uses, and then you give them a currency to use for transactions that can be done on this platform, essentially you have the world using one currency. And then to say it's backed mostly by the dollar, it doesn't kill the dollar. It increases the value and the strength of the dollar. And who backs the dollar? The Federal Reserve banks. So this is not something in a cryptocurrency that's harming or threatening the Federal Reserve Bank. And in fact, for them to be called the Libra Reserve, where the money is going to be held, and this is another private institution, this is not something that you can go and ask questions about as a public, a member of the public, as a citizen of your country or even of this world. It just seems very familiar to me, but I could be tripping. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Guys, this is going to be very interesting. Pay attention to what's going on in the world. I mean, it's going to be a lot of other news and distractions, and you're going to just see the headlines, but make sure you read the details and look into things, because this is a very interesting when you look at who's backing this cryptocurrency. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so we can have more support, so we can spread this message as much as possible, guys. Peace.